The obsidian cliffs of Drakkar Prime shimmered under three suns, their heat waves distorting the alien landscape into something dreamlike and terrible. In a cave carved by ancient claws, a small dragonling named Zia pressed himself against the cold stone wall, waiting. He had been waiting for 67 cycles. His mother had left to hunt and never returned. The other dragons had abandoned the nesting grounds when the food grew scarce, their massive wings carrying them to distant mountains where prey still ran thick. But Zia remained, his emerald scales dull with dust, his wings too small yet to carry him beyond the canyon. Every dawn he would crawl to the cave entrance and scan the copper sky for the familiar silhouette that never came. The galaxy knew dragons as apex predators, fearsome, intelligent, and fiercely independent. But the galaxy had never seen a dragonling wait, with the stubborn hope that only the young possess. On the 68th cycle, something changed. A star fell from the sky, but it fell slowly, deliberately. Zia watched from his cave as the metallic vessel descended with controlled bursts of blue flame, landing in the valley below with a hiss of hydraulics and displaced air. He had never seen such a thing. The elders spoke of sky metal and star travelers in cautious tones, beings who came from beyond the three suns. A hatch opened with a mechanical whir. Elsa emerged, her environmental suit reflecting the harsh sunlight. She was human, a xenobiologist from the Terran Expedition Corps, assigned to study Drakkar Prime's unique ecosystem. Her mission parameters were clear: observe, document, do not interfere. But 18 years of fieldwork across 40 systems had taught her that the universe rarely respected mission parameters. She noticed the tracks immediately, small, clawed, and recent. They led toward the cliff face in irregular patterns, the gait of something weak or injured. Her scanner confirmed biological signatures. A juvenile Drakkarian, approximately 3 standard months old, showing signs of severe malnutrition. Elsa's throat tightened. She knew she should report and move on. First contact protocols were explicit, but she also knew what hunger looked like in a child's eyes, regardless of species. She followed the tracks. Zia retreated deeper into his cave when he heard the approaching footsteps. Too light to be dragon, too purposeful to be prey. When the strange figure appeared at the entrance, silhouetted against the bright sky, he hissed weakly, a sound that should have been threatening but came out plaintive and afraid. Elsa stopped at the threshold, her translator device processing the acoustic patterns. Fear, loneliness, warning. She slowly removed her helmet, letting her brown hair fall free, showing her face. In her experience, faces built trust faster than any technology. "Hey there, little one," she said softly. "I'm not going to hurt you." Zia tilted his head, his golden eyes studying this alien creature. She was small, soft-looking, without scales or claws or wings, vulnerable. Yet she approached without fear, carrying something that smelled interesting. Elsa opened her supply pack and retrieved a protein ration bar. It wasn't dragon food, but her scanner indicated biochemical compatibility. She broke off a piece and held it out, remaining perfectly still. The dragonling's stomach betrayed him, growling audibly. Pride warred with hunger, and hunger won. He crept forward on shaking legs, snatched the morsel, and retreated to devour it. The taste was strange but not unpleasant, and more importantly, it dulled the ache in his belly. For the next hour, Elsa sat at the cave entrance, offering small pieces of food and speaking in low, gentle tones. She told him about Earth, about rain and oceans and creatures called cats that were small and fierce like him. Zia didn't understand the words, but he understood the tone. The same soft sounds his mother had made when curling around him in the cold nights. By the time the suns reached their zenith, Zia had ventured close enough to sniff her outstretched hand. Elsa spent the next week camping near the cave, each day gaining more of the dragonling's trust. She named him Zia, after a word in her grandmother's language that meant light. She watched him grow stronger on supplemented nutrition, saw his scales regain their luster, heard his hiss transform from defensive to playful. On the 8th day, Zia's wings had grown strong enough for short flights. He circled above Elsa's camp, performing awkward aerial loops, his excited chirps echoing off the canyon walls. When he landed, he bounded to her with unmistakable joy, pressing his scaled snout against her leg. Elsa's mission commander was less enthusiastic about her reports. "Dr. Elsa, you violated first contact protocols." The voice crackled over the comm. "That creature is a predator species. When it matures, he has a name. Elsa interrupted firmly. And he was dying. Would you have me document his death for scientific objectivity? Silence stretched across the light years. Humanity didn't reach the stars by leaving the vulnerable to die, Elsa continued. We survived because we had the capacity for compassion beyond our own species. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us worthy of being out here. More silence than a sigh. Proceed with caution, Doctor. And keep detailed records. This might change how we approach xenobiological ethics. 3 months later, Zia had grown to the size of a small shuttle. His wings could carry him across continents. His fire could melt rock, and his intelligence had developed to rival most spacefaring species. He could have left, could have found his own kind in the distant mountains. Instead, each night he returned to Elsa's camp, curling his massive body protectively around her small habitat pod. He had learned the truth that his instincts had always known. Family wasn't defined by species or blood, but by who stayed when the world grew cold and dark. Elsa would sit beneath his wing, updating her research notes, occasionally reaching up to scratch the scales beneath his jaw, the spot that always made his tail thump contentedly against the ground. "Who's a good dragon?" she would murmur, smiling at the absurdity and beauty of it all. Zia would rumble deep in his chest, a sound that meant safety, meant home, meant love. The stars had brought them together across impossible distances. 2 orphans who found in each other what the universe had taken away. Proof that compassion needed no translation, and that sometimes the most human thing you could do was care for someone completely unlike yourself. In the end, perhaps that was humanity's true gift to the galaxy. Not their technology or their ambition, but their stubborn, illogical, beautiful insistence that love recognized no boundaries. Not even the stars themselves.